I, 27 female, and my family are in an unusual situation and need some unbiased opinions. For privacy reasons, I'll be using fake names and try not to give too much information that could be traced to our lives. Long story short, my younger sister, Chelsea, 19 female, is the product of an affair. No one knew until the wife of the man my mom, 50 female, cheated with went nuclear, and my dad, 50 male, took a paternity test on us both. He was furious and divorced my mom, and we didn't see him again until the holidays. My dad was really awkward around Chelsea for a while, but agreed to still be her father. It took some time, a lot of family therapy, but we found a way back to our new normal. My dad remarried and had my brother, Jason, 13 male, and I thought we were cool. Obviously, our parents never really told us the truth about why they divorced, and they probably would have taken it to the grave until Chelsea's paternal grandmother reached out on social media and revealed the truth. We were shocked, and I've since gone low contact with my mom, while Chelsea still lives with her for school. Having the truth come out brought up a lot of old hurt feelings for my dad, but I think he would have kept pressing on like before, until we found out that Chelsea was secretly meeting her bio dad behind our dad's back. He was not happy, extremely hurt, and asked her why. Chelsea said that she wanted to know the other half of who she was, and after getting to know her bio dad, she wanted a relationship with him. Chelsea asked my dad to support her decision and forgive her bio dad, so we could all be one big happy family. I don't know why she thought that was a good idea, but she realized her mistake when my dad called her ungrateful for all that he did for her and said that if she wanted our mom's former affair partner around so bad, then he could fully step into the role of father and pay for her college. My dad has effectively cut Chelsea off financially and is no longer speaking to her. Chelsea has been sobbing on and off, and our mom is worried about her future education. She called our dad selfish and wanted me to stop speaking to him until he apologized and made things right, as an act of solidarity towards my sister. While I understand my sister's hurt, I don't see why I have to cut ties with my dad when he's done nothing wrong to me. I love my dad and still want to talk to him. But my mom and a few members of my maternal side of the family are saying that I'd be being a bad sister. How do I navigate this? Edit. Just to clarify, because I keep seeing this pop up. A. I'm not too sure, but from my understanding, I think the only reason my dad agreed to still be part of Chelsea's life was because the bio dad wasn't in the picture, and he could just pretend that Chelsea was his. B. From a legal standpoint, we live in a state in the US where parents aren't obligated to pay for their children's higher education. C. Chelsea didn't just want to get in contact for medical information. Maybe it started out this way. She wants to have a full relationship with the man, and she asked my dad to forgive mom's affair partner and be a happy co-dad with him. I'm guessing she wants them to be friends, so they'll come to family events together all the time and not be awkward, which I think is a lot to ask. Edit 2. Also, D. I think the affair partner, bio dad, knew about Chelsea all along, because how else could the bio paternal grandmother know about her and reach out? My understanding is that she initiated contact, and the bio may never have done so without his mother's involvement. E. This all went down a month ago. At least that's when I was made aware of the situation. And it's still pretty fresh, so my opinion may change. But right now, I don't support the idea of Chelsea having a relationship with her bio dad. Her getting medical information is completely understandable, but I just can't make sense of her wanting to be in constant communication with a man who couldn't be bothered to seek her out or be there for her while she was growing up. My dad did that, and he really didn't have to. Of course, I'm not in her shoes, and I don't ever plan on telling her that. Wait, your mom cheated, had a child with this other man, never told your father, let him believe the child was his, expected him to continue to support her even after she reconnected with her biological father, and she accuses you of being a bad sister for wanting to have a relationship with your father. Your mom is absolutely in the wrong here. The problems between your sister and your father is between them. Your mom trying to make you choose sides is manipulative and overall toxic. Exactly what I would expect from someone who would get pregnant in an affair. Tell her that their fight is not your issue. Tell her that you can support both your sister and your father best by staying out of their issues. Tell her that he has every right to be upset for the situation that she, your mom, put him in. If those people are saying you are a bad sister, then I would seriously rethink those relationships. It seems that your mom's side of the family might not have the best judgment and should have anything they say taken with a massive grain of salt. I'm 39 male, been married to my wife, 36 female, for 15 years. I also have a son, 13. My family consists of mom, 58, dad, 62, sister, 30, and younger brother, 22. Last year, I found my wife crying in our bedroom. I consoled her, and she tells me she's pregnant. I was elated and explained to her that's great news. The color of her face changed, and she tells me it is and leaves the room. It was weird. During that time, I also found out about excessive time spending on the phone. I took care of her alone, did the cooking and cleaning alone, because COVID situation was high, so no one could come in here. She gave birth to a healthy baby girl. She's just like her mother, adorable. Fast forward to last month and this month. My brother used to frequently visit us, which I thought was fine until it got every day. But hey, he's my baby brother. This month, we went to our parents to stay there for 2 weeks. I saw my wife getting awkwardly close to my brother. I was the primary breadwinner of both family. My father owned few shops, which were under my direct control. I am an investment banker, and apart from this, we also have several housing that we rented out. So I stayed busy most of the time, but whenever I came home, I saw my wife and brother spending time together, which was weird, considering she was close to my sister before. I also see my sister spending more time with me. I get the sense something is up, and sister wants to tell me something. I ask her several times, but she assures me everything's all right. Last week, my father asked me to spend some time with him fishing, just me and him. I agreed, during which he tells me stories about fish and how he spent his time with his father here. He goes on to praise me, how good son I was, and he's proud of me. I sense there's a bigger picture. He also tells me that he's disappointed in my brother because he has no goals set. He doesn't work, does pee, smokes, and is an alcohol addict. My father wasn't very close to my younger brother, but my mom was. When we were leaving, he tells me he has to go somewhere, gives me the fishing kit and a small paper and leaves, telling me I should open the paper after he has left. When I open the paper, my entire world turns upside down. It was a DNA test. I'm not the father to my daughter. I rush to my home, family home, everyone was there, and confront my wife and brother. They both accept it and apologize to me, telling me it was a mistake. I further find out it has been going on for a year, and they both love each other. Wife consoles me, saying that she can't change what happened, and she will always be sorry for me. I'm a perfect husband, father, son, but I couldn't be a good lover because I spend excessive time outside. Mind you people, I take her to vacation twice a year, date nights once or twice a month. We get intimate twice or thrice a week. Always asked her if she was all right. She could have told me once. She could have talked. My sister chimes in and tells me she knew and she couldn't bring herself to tell me. Hearing of the commotion, my mom comes with the baby. She explains to me that she can't change the outcome. My wife and brother already have a baby together. My son grew attached to it. I should accept it and move on. I was the older brother and I should forgive them. I call her out and told her, how can my own family betray me like that? I told my wife, I don't need a wife for whom I have to compete with other men, despite her being my wife. Told her she will get the divorce papers, and told my backstabbing brother that I always stood up for him, and now he is the one to backstab me, and left this place. My phone was blowing up. My father told me he is with me, but he can't say anything openly due to my mother. He tells me he's sorry for being a bad father. Also told me my mom knew about the affair. She just didn't speak about it. I told him I don't care. I don't need a family that stabs me in the back, and he can gladly cut me off from the family after divorce. I haven't told her family yet. My soon-to-be ex-wife calls me every day, 100+ times. Texts me my son misses me. My brother hasn't reached out to me yet. My sister apologized to me, telling me she should have, but she couldn't be a good sister and that I am the role model for her. She is always proud to have me. I haven't replied to them at all. My mother called me to tell me we all make mistakes and we can be a family again if I decide to forgive. She hinted that my children need a father figure, and if I can't be there, there's my brother to take care of my family. Told me the court won't give me custody, and if she stands up for them, things might go wrong for me. That infuriated me, and I blocked her. Haven't talked to any of them the past 2 days. Divorce can be expensive in here, but it is what it is. I haven't told anyone about this, haven't slept well, can't eat anything. I feel like I've lost my reason to live. In just a week, I've lost everything. My family, my wife and kids, my dignity, everything. I feel like dying because there is no purpose to my life, at least now. Edit. I talked to the lawyer. I just have to file RN. Lawyer said I'd have to pay spousal support. Getting the primary custody will be hard. About disestablishment of parent from my daughter. I love her, even though she's not my daughter. It will take a long time to get it finalized. Divorce here is expensive. I'm looking at around $900 a month as spousal support for her and daughter, 50-50 custody of my son, and half the assets. I also noticed I wrote DNA test. Sorry, it was paternity test of my daughter and brother. It confirmed 99%. Yes, my brother was 7 when me and my wife got married. I know it's a disgusting fact. Your mother betrayed you also. The women in your family are trash. I don't know. I'd just bounce completely. I'd leave and never look back. Your sister seems all right. Your mom can raise your niece with your useless brother and ex-wife. You sure as hell can fight for your son. And being 13, they will ask him who he wants to be with. Take a few days to come to grips with these life changes and make a plan to get control of the situation. Update. I left the house after finding out and got my finances in order. Met lawyers and started divorce proceedings. I got the papers this Friday. Wife came over. We had a talk. She told me she doesn't want a divorce for our son. She apologizes and acknowledged her fault. I tell her I want a divorce regardless and give her the papers. She had the audacity to initiate S, like, oh, I was gonna give in. I told her to leave after that. This Saturday, my sister, who lives in the Netherlands, came here for vacation. Left early after this crap show, verbally destroying my wife and mother. She called me and we had a talk. She apologized on her part. She was put in a conflicted position as mom begged her not to tell me. She told me mom was worried about my health and how I would react. Also, that my younger brother coerced mom into doing this. Things got a lot clearer after that, but regardless, it doesn't make me feel any better. Many of you knocked me, saying this is fake. I hope it was. You can choose to believe it actually happened and my life is a ducking crap show right now, and where I can't do anything. It's breaking apart. Everything that I held dear. Or ignore it. Whatever. I also met my son spending the day with him on Saturday, taking him to a gaming zone that's really popular here. I told him what I planned. He tells me he knows. My mom weeps every day. His mom, my wife. She's just lost. She doesn't know what to do. Conflicted, I found out later. Another reason. My younger brother just smokes pee and drinks alcohol. Doesn't take up his responsibilities. Sister and I already agreed we are taking our names off from the family, and we do not want any of the inheritance. I'm going to cut off myself from the family, move to a different country. My sister already told me she has help if I choose to move to the Netherlands. That might be my destination now after a year of divorce. It isn't easy. Days are long and hard, especially when you think about the incident. I've lost count of how many times I've threw up. My BP is low tremendously, as well as my sugar levels. Yesterday afternoon, my father called and told me mom's in the hospital. She suffered a bad stroke and collapsed at the table during lunch. Her condition isn't very great. Dad told me she wants to meet me. Doctor told us to pray. Her condition isn't good enough to get her discharged. Wife is handling everything for now. My brother is just visiting a few hours and leaving. My newborn daughter is with the wife in the hospital along with my son and dad. Dad told me this might be it. He wants me to visit. I've told my sister. She's conflicted about it. I'm being honest. Part of me wants to visit her, but the majority part doesn't. She's my mother no matter what, but she chose to betray me. She chose to hurt me. She chose to support my wife instead of me. It wasn't the cheating that was bothering me. It wasn't that my wife slept with my brother and chose him over me. It was all the betrayals that my family did. It was all that everyone knew and no one chose to tell me. It was that my own mother prioritized her other son, threatened me to cut me off from the family. Now, suddenly she's in the hospital and she wants to meet me. I'm not at all doing great or happy regarding this. Therapists suck. They don't do anything else other than vent or actually help you. They're a waste of money. Many of my relatives visited mom in the hospital. Word of my wife's affair got out to a few close relatives. My favorite uncle absolutely destroyed her right in the hospital by calling her and my brother the most vile things. Dad told me this. It took my teenage son to get my uncle into senses and regain calmness. It's entirely a crap show. I've talked to a few friends. They're advising me to divorce, move on, shift to another country, and settle down with someone else. I don't know anything. I don't have any plans, cause right now, I just can't. I can't plan any ducking thing. I've talked to my lawyer too. He told me I can get my share of inheritance if my mother doesn't create a will. I can't get it if I resign my inheritance or if she cuts me off. Nothing of that sort happened. I don't have any interest in inheritance, money, family. I just want my son so I can escape this godforsaken family and just be sane. As for the paternity, it's going to be tougher than divorce itself. Cheating isn't a deal breaker or a trump card in most countries. But being a stay-at-home mom is, and it can destroy you in many ways. However, if I can leave my inheritance share, it might give me an upper hand, and I might not have to pay spousal support. But it all depends on mutual agreement. I found out I can also lodge a complaint in my country against the affair partner, which in this case is my brother. As my son is minor, I can also get a restraining order against my wife and my brother for my son because the use of alcohol, D, is frowned upon in my country. So I do have some hope. But currently, I'm torn between my mother's condition. I can't believe what 3 weeks can do to you. It honestly is the lowest point of my life. The only thing that's holding me back is my son. Get the restraining order against your wife and your brother. I'm sorry that things spiraled so far out of hand for you. But looks like you're handling things pretty well, all things considered. You're honestly making pretty rational decisions. Better than I would be if I was in your shoes. Getting your affairs in order is really all you can do at this point. And I'm sorry your family members are being such crappy people. Initiating and completing the divorce and putting some distance between you and your family seemed to be the best decision to make.